Andy will attempt to reach his 5th ATP World Tour final of the season, and it'll be an All-American semi, 4-1 against Taylor, and he's also 9-1 against Marty. All right, questions?
Andy, well played today. Early on it looked like you were, leaning back, not getting set very well, and just not hitting your spots. Do you attribute it to the speed of the court? Melissa's flat shots, maybe racket tension? Anything specific?
No, you're trying to give me an excuse, but I think it was. I think it was actually the opposite. I think it was, Larry wanted me to work on getting the first strike in this week, and quite simply, I wasn't able to execute that strategy tonight. I just didn't do it, and then kind of just. I think my legs won me the match. I kind of the second set I just kind of grounded back, and then the third set kind of just ran and grinded out a bunch of points and just toughed it out. There wasn't anything great about my execution tonight. I started serving a lot better. In the third set, I got my forehand to come down a little bit. Wasn't spraying it as much, and I think that was what turned it for me.
Your execution was better in the second two sets. I think it was 17 unforced errors in the first set and I think 15 the other two. So yeah. What was the difference for you in the second two sets?
Well, it got better. I just tightened it up a little bit. I was, I was just spraying the ball. I think I was forcing it a little bit, and it just wasn't dropping. It's as simple as that. And I kind of brought the margins in a little bit more, gave myself a bigger area of the court to hit to, and when you do that, you have to be happy to sit back and let it become a very physical match. It's going to hurt a little bit at times. There's going to be some long rallies, and I try to play a more aggressive game early on. Didn't execute, and then I decided if he's going to win, let's at least make him work for it in this second set. And if he does too good, he played one bad game there in the second set, and that turned. I was able to serve it out, and then the third set I played better.
He said that you had never, as far as he recalled, had never backed up as much as he did in returning his serve in the third set.
It was one game.
It was just one game. Okay.
It was one game.
All right.
And it was the game I broke. He was in a pretty decent groove on first serves in the third set. He's hitting the spots, he's hitting aces, and he normally doesn't. He has a good serve, but he normally doesn't just pop aces. And so it gave him a different look. Stood. I wasn't returning well, close in, just didn't have my timing or whatever. And so I said, one, you give him a different look, maybe just make him think a little bit on his serve. Two, if I can somehow get the return back, I have a little bit more space to run and get myself into a point. And I think he missed, 8 out of 9 first serves when I stood back into that. So it might have just given him a different look. And so I actually was pretty stubborn about standing in most of the night, and then decided to give myself some space there at the last game, and was able to break.
In that break, you had 2 other chances to break. It looked like you were a little bit more aggressive on that third point coming after a second serve.
Yeah, I could tell that he might have been a little bit tight in that game, so it's a fine line between being aggressive and also making him try to play, knowing that he's a little bit tight. But I got some air under that last break point. And once you stick a return deep, it's neutral. And I was able to get it back to neutral pretty quick, and then was able to get him to commit an error there.
For those of us who haven't watched you play 100,000 matches throughout your career, is that a tactic you use quite frequently, or is that something you use whenever the situation calls for it? Or you
well,
hardly ever do it?
I think one of the things that I've been able to do is to get in better shape, to at least give me the option of going to that if I need to. There's a plan B there, and that's something I've worked hard for. Early on in my career, it was pretty much hit or bust. Where a night like tonight, it might not have gone my way. So it's something that I've kind of learned, I guess, how to do a little bit more. And I don't know if it's ever going to be my first option, but it's nice to have something else to go to and to be able to give a different look.
Yeah, were you like 6 feet behind the line? What did you?
I've never walked it off, but I think it was pretty far back.
Okay. How's your rank?
It's good, thanks.
Yeah.
Fisher, Den tomorrow. Do you have a preference?
It's tough. you know, obviously Marty's one of my closest friends, so it's always kind of weird when we play each other. I mean, when we're on tour, we do pretty much everything together, so it's never a fun match to play. You know, Taylor's a great guy too, so you know, I guess I don't have much of a preference. I guess Marty's been in better form recently, you know, with the win in Newport, so he's playing pretty confidently. But you know, either way, it's going to be a different match because you know, they're going to be coming forward. They're going to be probably a lot more aggressive than you know, than tonight.
Can you talk about the work that Marty's done over the past year to get him back, help him to?
Well, Marty's, you know, he's always had the talent. He's, you know, it's been awesome as a friend to see him so disciplined. You know, it's almost like he had a new lease on his career once he had knee surgery. You know, maybe he thought his time might have been limited, and he was going to do everything he could to get the most out of his ability. And so he's playing great. You know, even the matches that he's lost this year have had purpose behind it. You know, and you know, with him getting in shape, I mean, it's been remarkable what that's done for his game. So you know, as a friend, I'm very proud of him. As an opponent, I'm concerned, and you know, we'll take that into consideration for sure.
Just to confirm, you only stood back behind the baseline in the game you broke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this really going to be the story?
I'll ask you about your foot and you didn't want to talk about it.
You asked me about my ankle, to be fair. I said my
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Did you have to get a lot of treatment on it last night?
Well, my foot was the thing that was hurt, so
Yeah.
my ankle's fine.
Oh, I asked you about your ankle. All right. Your leg. Now, did you have to get a lot of treatment on it?
Yeah, I mean, for the majority of my day, my foot was in an ice bucket, which sucks. I would recommend against it. It's just the worst thing ever.
Although in this heat, it's probably not the worst.
Well, I wasn't sitting outside with my foot in a bucket.
I watch your tweets a lot, and it's kind of funny because you seem to comment, especially on the Isner match and stuff like that. Do you find any of these guys it's tough for you to watch their matches, or is there anybody in particular you don't want to watch?
So try that.
Because you're following the matches of your friends,
Yeah.
and then sometimes your opponents.
Yeah.
Or do you not? Just friends, or you watch everybody?
I mean, during a slam, I'll watch a lot of tennis, just because that's what's on. When I'm home training, I will not clear out my day to check out a match unless it's like, you know, like you said, one of my close buddies, and it's a big match. I mean, obviously when Marty made the later rounds in Newport, I wanted to see how he did, and you know, same with John. But I don't know if I'm, you know, I don't know if it's exceptional that I sat down and watched the Isner match. I don't think you had a choice.
Kinda hard not to.
Yeah, well, I mean, how else are you going to fill 7 hours of your day? You know?
Luis is a guy you obviously had a lot of success with, but it seems like in a lot of times he's really made you work for your wins.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guy's been a top 20 player, so if you can reel off, you know, 10 or 11 straight wins or whatever it is, including the kind of challenger circuit, I mean, that's not easy. You know, I think every time you know, if I had to start over and do it again, I'd probably bet against myself, you know, but it's just worked out that way.
Anything else?
Just one more question.
Yeah, sure.
Just about this this tennis center that you're building. A little more info on that. Just heard a glimpse about it.
Well, hey, we're trying to raise funds for it, and that's you know, all the work I do is for at-risk youth, and the 2 places where I've grown up in Florida and in Austin, in the Austin area. And this is a little bit outside of Austin, but basically we're trying to build a facility where we can get kids interested in tennis. It's not going to cost them an arm and a leg to get involved in the sport. You know, I guess the backdrop, my foundation is called the Roddick Foundation. We throw different events throughout the year to help raise funds. We've raised, I think, over $15 million to date. A lot of it's on donations. This one will be a private donor, so it's not for our events. And you know, fingers crossed, we're still trying to make it happen, and we think we're close.
One last question. You said yesterday that since Wimbledon last year, the crowds have been decidedly in your favor more than they have been.
Yeah.
For support. How does tonight compare?
Well, tonight was exceptional, I thought.
Okay.
You know, they were behind me even when I wasn't giving them much reason to be behind me tonight. You know, it was pretty ordinary tennis for the most part of it, and even when I wasn't too thrilled with myself, they were still there. So, you know, I thought it was a great crowd. You know, it's an intimate environment here, but you still felt the crowd, you know, in between every point. So that was, you know, frankly, it helped me get through it. Yeah, thanks.